The Almost Perfect Podcast.
I guess I picked up a camera. I was doing a lot of graffiti at the time with my brother growing up, sort of late teens, early 20s. That took me into, interesting kind of crazy parts of the city. And then documenting the graffiti, needing to get flicks of stuff that we were painting, kind of introduced me to these environments that I, being a suburban kid, hadn't really explored. And, I gradually turned my camera away from just graffiti and street art and started documenting the environment because I found it so exciting and beautiful. And, the characters I would meet and the conversations that I had and the places I was going, I felt like it was really an exciting thing to start documenting. And I've been documenting the Durban inner city since then, probably for 10 or 11 years. I just keep going back and, I've built up a body of work. And obviously, as you say, there's been some curveballs and a lot of backlash. And a lot of it came through the writing that I was doing
Yeah.
and the kind of reportage, And I, f- I feel like I was being um, quite ruthlessly honest with that work, and in a way, having such a sort of, I don't know how to put it, like such a sure opinion of everything, being sort of, yeah, I don't
It
know
is the
how to put
ignorance
it,
of
but
youth. And it is also
yeah, kind of the ignorance of youth.
and it's also kind of
Yeah, do
what's
you want to chip in
encouraged.
there?
Yeah, because, I remember Mahala at the time, and I remember even Durban as yours at the time, and, lots of, and Vas, like essentially being a
Yeah,
model for a lot of stuff that was going on in journalism. And
yeah.
yeah, like that stuff was kind of encouraged, was to, I don't know, just
To say
tackle.
anything you want. Yeah,
Exactly. And like to be bold in saying things that you might not necessarily know enough about. I know I did.
exactly. And I tackled, yeah, we all did. And we tackled some huge issues in our 20s that were very sensitive. Um,
Yeah.
and where I and there was like very much a sort of a fuck you rock star attitude towards publishing,
Yeah.
and not a sort of an understanding about the how far that voice and that opinion could go, and how you needed to actually treat your subjects. I needed to treat my subjects with more sensitivity going forward, and I learned a whole lot. And I really stopped writing from that very much sort of first person narrative style that I was doing, and it had its time and place. But a lot of my work going forward has almost been, direct channeling of conversations, and, just sort of trying to let people speak their truth instead
Yeah.
of, putting my interpretation in my writing so much and having such a huge opinion about, the way things are going, because I don't actually know shit most of the time. I have an opinion, but I think if I'm doing storytelling, then what I've learned is to let my subjects have their own voice. And photography is easier to do that because it's a direct representation of a moment in time.
Yeah.
Whereas journalism has this kind of, it's like filmmaking. There's so much in the craft, and there's so much in the retelling, that there's tone, and there's a choice of words, and you can just manipulate and, you know use every little angle to get a message across. And I've kind of backed away with that a lot in my writing, and that pushed me towards working harder in my photojournalism, in my photography, and letting kind of the work speak for itself. So what I'd like to do more of is just, giving other people that I meet, people that I take portraits of, giving them the opportunity to, say something, sort of Humans of New York style.